The epistle for Sunday, September the 6th, is 2 Corinthians 4, 6-15. Let me read part of it. God, who said, "Let light shine out of darkness," has shone in our hearts to bring to light the knowledge of the glory of God on the face of Jesus Christ. But we hold this treasure in earthen vessels, that the surpassing power may be of God and not from us. We are afflicted in every way, but not constrained, perplexed, but not driven to despair, persecuted, but not abandoned, struck down, but not destroyed, always carrying about in the body the dying of Jesus, so that the life of Jesus may also be manifested in our body. For we who live are constantly being given up to death for the sake of Jesus, so that the life of Jesus may be manifested in our mortal flesh. St. Paul is concerned in 2 Corinthians to establish his own credibility with the people of Corinth. Here is a man who travels from city to city, is thrown out of town, threatened, beaten, and imprisoned. He takes no donations and supports himself by working with his hands. He has no wife and no home of his own. And yet he is an apostle sent by God to preach the gospel. This gospel is the treasure he bears. How is it that God's servants are treated so poorly? Why should the Corinthians take him seriously? Paul answers that he suffers voluntarily so that God's glory can be manifested by contrast to his humble circumstances. He dies in humility, like Christ, so that the life of Jesus, who rose from the dead in glory, can be illustrated by Paul's own life. There are preachers and evangelists on television that teach a prosperity gospel. They teach that God favors those who truly believe with worldly prosperity. They live in mansions, own private jets, and encourage people to make donations with the promise that God will reward them many times over with material riches. They teach that we can have what we want by claiming it, because it is an act of faith. They believe that Christians will be spared suffering in the last days. These preachers are wrong. As St. Paul advises Timothy, share in suffering as a good soldier of Christ Jesus. Let us imitate St. Paul. When we are afflicted, let us not hold back. When we are confused, let us not despair. Let the life of Jesus be manifested in our mortal flesh, so that we may shine with the light of Christ.